Since 2014, Nigerian school children have been the target of insurgent groups. The first attack of schools that attained the celebrity status was the abduction of 270 girls from a secondary school in Chibok in northeastern Nigeria. The teenagers were preparing for their final exams before they were abducted by men of the terrorist group Boko Haram. That attack sparked a global campaign with the hashtag Bring Back Our Girls. The campaign saw Michelle Obama, ex-British Prime Minister Dave Cameron, and Nigeria's former Minister of Education Obiageli Ezekwesili carrying a placard bearing the hashtag Bring Back Our Girls, condemning the attack and asking the Nigerian government to ensure their safe release. Were they released? Well, 50 of those girls managed to find an escape route, while the rest were reported to have been married off to members of the Boko Haram terrorist group, while some were said to have been sold in some neighboring African markets. Ever since then, there's been a new wave of banditry attacks sweeping across northwestern states in Nigeria, in Niger State, Kaduna, and Zamfara State. But the question that begs for an answer still is, why are bandit groups attacking secondary school children? Whatever the reason is, we try to find out in this documentary.
2014 was the first time in 100 years Nigeria would experience the abduction of children from her public schools. Sadly, since then, school children have become the victims of attacks and mass kidnappings by insurgent groups fighting against Western education in Nigeria, regularly targeting schools in the northeast and burning them to the ground. But in recent months, the northwestern region of the country has seen an unprecedented rise in school abductions that have left at least one student dead, and there are fears that more attacks are on the way. But why is all this happening, and who is responsible? It was around midnight on February 26th when 279 Nigerian schoolgirls were kidnapped from their school in Jengebe, Zamfara State, and ordered to an unknown location. No group has claimed responsibility for the kidnapping, yet mass school abductions are on the rise in Nigeria. This is only one of the several abductions in the country in just 3 months. A couple of days before the attack in Jangebe, 27 boys were abducted from a school in Kagara in Niger State. In December of 2020, 344 boys were taken from their school in the same community, and another 80 boys were taken in Mahuta in Katsina State in the northeast, home to Nigeria's President Muhammadu Buhari. In northern Kaduna State, at least 2 more abductions took place in March 2021. 39 students were abducted from the Federal College of Forestry Mechanization, Afaka, close to the Nigerian Defense Academy in Kaduna State. 10 of the students have been released, while 29 are still with their captors. On Tuesday night, 20th of April 2021, 23 students of Greenfield borders connecting Nigeria to neighboring Niger, Chad, and Cameroon. But these borders are porous, permitting a free movement of armed groups across countries, bypassing local security forces. The institutions targeted are often small-town public schools with security infrastructure too small or insignificant to stand any chance in opposing these heavily armed groups. One of the largest targets was a college in Kaduna State, close to the Nigerian Defense Academy barracks. These attacks are clear attempts to enforce certain agendas and institutionalize belief systems. This ugly trend started in 2014 when Islamic terrorist group Boko Haram, which operates majorly in northeastern Nigeria, abducted 276 girls from their school in the Chibok area of Borno State, drawing worldwide outrage and condemnation. In 2018, the group struck again, capturing 110 schoolgirls in Dapchi, another town in northeast Nigeria. According to UNICEF, about 174 girls are still unaccounted for. 5 of them were killed. However, kidnappings at this level in the northwest can be considered to be relatively recent. Majorly, unidentified militia groups, loosely called bandits by the government and the affected communities, are responsible. These militia groups attack highways and local farmers in their villages, destroying their houses and farmlands, seizing their farm produce and holding them hostage, not releasing them until their outrageous demands are met, usually involving ransoms running into hundreds of millions of naira. Now, these militia groups have shifted their attention to schools, kidnapping the children there and asking the government to pay for their release. In many cases, the ransom they would demand will in fact sometimes be paid, but the government has repeatedly denied paying any money to secure the release of any school children. Experts say these militia groups are mostly members of a nomadic ethnic minority in the region, the Fulani herdsmen. Although these militias are technically not insurgents, they do have links with terrorist groups. But why are they targeting school kids? Here are two likely reasons that could prove to be true. 1. The rise in terrorism in Nigeria was birthed from a strong desire to abolish and replace Western education with Islamic law by Boko Haram. The resultant effect: parents are becoming more afraid and more inclined to withdraw their children from school for the sake of their safety. Also, children are soft targets and are more likely to draw public attention and sympathy, getting the government to negotiate a ransom more quickly. According to experts, paying these ransoms are indirect ways of funding terrorism by the state. Sequel to the raid in Jangebe, the president ordered a crackdown on insurgent groups in the northwest region and declared Zamfara a no-fly zone. 5 of the school kidnappings in the last 7 years occurred on the president's watch. Notwithstanding, Nigeria's federal structure makes the state governors directly responsible for security matters like this one. In order to mitigate the effect of the Chibok school abduction, after the attack, the government introduced a Safe School initiative to strengthen security in public schools. That scheme was heavily funded by the United Nations in partnership with the governments of Norway and Germany. Notwithstanding, reports of attacks by Boko Haram terrorists are still trailing the news consistently. While these attacks were ongoing, the northwestern states were entering negotiations with the bandits, signing peace and amnesty agreements. But because these bandits operate in different factions, these agreements were not respected by all and the attacks persisted.
Hi, thanks for watching this video. If you'd love to see other amazing stories like this one or the ones in the description link below, click the subscribe button and hit the notification bell.